Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Stamping A to Z, episode 66. I can't believe I've done that many episodes. So today, actually, maybe I should start with Stamping A to Z is a series that goes through all of our Stampin' Up! Products and shows you what to do with them, how to use them, and different ways you can use them. I'm hoping it'll inspire you to pull out your products and use them and get crafting and just enjoy. Crafting is very much a calming activity for me anyways. I think it can be very therapeutic for a lot of people, and so I hope that with these it spreads the stress-free, calming. I just hope it gives you some happiness. Anyways, on to things. So episode 66, we are going to look at the Waves of the Ocean collection, which just got released yesterday for customers. I will go through and show you all of the pieces and parts of it as we go before I start using it, and you'll get to see it all in action, which I think is awesome because it makes such a difference to actually see it versus just seeing a piece of paper and going, oh, I don't know if I like that. I saw it and instantly knew I wanted it because I am an oceans girl. I don't live anywhere near the ocean, but I love the ocean. I love the water. Hawaii is my favoriteest place in the world. I miss it dearly. Have not been there since before COVID. Hoping to someday get there again, although I was looking the other day and prices have gone a little crazy. Anyways, that being said, we're going to look at that. I just wanted to mention that a sale just started and it's for all of March and it is amazing. I actually had a customer ask if the Big Shots, or what do I call it? The cut and emboss machine, if they ever go on sale. And I said, no, I've never seen them go on sale. Well, I lied. They went on sale. But it's just the mini, the baby Big Shot, Big Boss. Big Shot's the old one. So the cut and emboss machine, this cute little baby machine that cuts a lot of dies and the smaller embossing folders, it is 20% off right now. Ooh. And I will use it so you can see it. And there's a whole bunch of bundles that can be used within that mini that are also 20% off. So definitely go on to my store and check it out. See if any of these bundles are on your wish list. Because if they are, it's a great time to take advantage and get them. I know there's one on my list that I am going to buy while it's on sale. There also is still this Altogether collection that was released last month that's still available. I believe the markers are still back ordered, but the rest of it is available. And yeah, I think that's celebration is over. So hopefully you guys took advantage of that. For those of you that might have missed out, I am going to do some draws soon. I will put out my requirements, or I haven't come up with exactly what I'm going to do, but I'm going to have some of those things if you missed out that you can maybe still get your hands on. So let's get started. I'm going to turn you around and we're going to take a peek at the Waves of the Ocean collection. So don't mind my fingers here. And as usual, I forgot to check if my volume was up, so we'll just do that. Oh, jeez. I hate it when I move my camera stand around. We use it for playing cards virtually. So we were using it the other day, so it's not quite set up to my usual place. So sorry if I'm making you seasick here. Let me just get you on so I can see, make sure we're in the picture here. How come Oh, there we go. We just have a huge delay going on. Okay. All right. So to begin, let's show you this wonderful new suite. So it has this fun stamp set. I don't know, this little bird is so cute. And then the wave is the star of this stamp set. You will see you can do so many things with this wave. And then there's some awesome greetings that you can use. And the great thing with the greetings is there's a couple of, I don't know if you can see it with my wave in the way. Let's take this wave out of the way. So there's two different waves that you can die cut. There's some water wash you can cut. There's, well, you know what? I didn't even notice that there was a cutout for this guy. I fussy cut mine, which I probably would have done it anyways because I don't want the outside, but you'll see. So there's these two labels, which are great to use with these greetings. And then there's these clouds, and you're probably like, oh, I already have clouds. But they're actually a little bit different than most of the clouds because they emboss as well as cut at the same time. So you end up getting these little kind of textures on your clouds, which is really nice. So I'll show you that as well. And then we've got these beautiful rhinestones in all of the blues and greens. For the ocean colors, I just love these. Then we have some new colored foil paper. So it has Night of Navy. I think this is Coastal Cabana. Yes. And then it's got a silver. So it has two sheets of each. The Night of Navy, the Coastal Cabana, and the silver. If you want to know prices, you can always go onto the store. So in Canada, which is where I am, the foil paper is $13.75, and like I said, you get the 6 sheets. The rhinestones are $9. This designer series paper, which has all these oceany, it's all just kind of, oops, sorry, hit my camera. Look like water, ocean, like from a aerial view. So that's kind of cool. That's $15.75, which it kind of always is standard. And then you've got the bundle. So for the bundle, it's $71, and then you can either do the stamp set and the dies. Unfortunately, this bundle is not part of that sale for the mini Big Boss. But most of this can be used, actually all of it can be used in your smaller cut and die machine. So if you're just starting out and you're kind of still getting your feet wet and you're not sure you want to really get into the big one, this one's a good starter one, especially since it's on sale. And it's great for traveling. I actually took it with me to my youngest's competition, last competition, because I had to finish my club card kits that I was putting together and I hadn't done all the cutting. So that's what I brought with me and I used it. So it was great that I didn't have to bring the big one. If you want to see, here, I'll show you the difference between, so this is the big, I don't know if I'll be able to get it on camera, but this is the big one. Sorry, it's a little dirty. And then this is the mini. So you can see, oh, it's getting a little close to the camera. I don't know if you can see that. Anyways, you can see it's quite a bit smaller. So it's really good for traveling. And that one is on sale for, what's the sale price? So normally it's $82 and it's on sale for $65.50. So it's a really good price. So those are all the pieces and parts of this Waves of Inspiration collection. I can't remember if I said, so these are an early release from the new annual catalog, but these items they're all just while supplies last. So if you're loving any of this, make sure you get your hands on it. These will be in the annual catalog. these won't last forever. Keep that in mind. Okay, so I just wanted to show you quickly, if you're a person that just likes the designer series paper or you like simple stamping, a stamp set and the designer series paper. I mean, you don't even have to have this stamp set. It's kind of nice with the labels, but you can use whatever you have. Just cut out the papers and throw on a sentiment, add a little ribbon, and you've got some great, super quick and easy cards to make. So I just wanted, because I didn't really use the designer series paper in my samples today, so I wanted to show you just kind of a little bit what they look like. So then this is the wave stamp, so it's fairly large. I really like to use the Stamparatus for this, partly because I can line it up. Actually, I had been lining it up so that it was cutting off because I had cut my paper exactly to size. I don't think I cut this one exactly to size, so I might not line it up at the same place. Some people prefer to use it in the corner, but then I find it's hard to get that really good imprint. It's easier on this big one to get a good print more centered because you can push down more on this hinged side. And the other part of using the Stamparatus is it allows you to use multiple colors because waves aren't usually just one solid color. So that is kind of my reasoning for using the Stamparatus. You can use it on a block or on a whatever you have to stamp with it. You don't have to have the Stamparatus. It just makes life easier. Tools just make everything easier. So the more tools you have, the easier things are. And if you know me, I like things easy. So anyways, so I'm going to start with Balmy Blue. And I'm just going to ink up the entire stamp. If you are watching the replay of this, say hi, comment, tell me where you're watching from. I'd love to hear from you, even if you're not here live. I know not everybody can make it on a Wednesday afternoon. So you can see it didn't really, so then with the Stamparatus, it just allows you to go back and really push down on it. So you can see monochromatic isn't, it doesn't make, I mean, the wave looks pretty, but it doesn't make it pop as much as I would like. I forgot to take out my little sponge daubers here. Okay, so I've got some Pacific Point. And I'm just going to add it a little bit in places. And we'll add it on. And again, the nice thing with using the Stamparatus is if you're like, well, I think I'd like a little bit more over here, then you can just go back in and add a little bit more, and you know you're stamping in the same spot every time. So it's just kind of adding as you go. I feel like there's still some missing, so I'm going to take a little bit of Bermuda Bay, give it a bit of a more, a little bit of the, I don't want to say green, but it's more bluey green of the ocean. There. Then you've got even more movement going on. I think I need a little bit of Pacific Point in my wave here. There we go. So now you've got a multicolored ocean wave, but it looks like you only stamped it once. So just to show you some variations, sky's the limits. You can just keep going and going. Now, I wasn't super thrilled with the look of the way this turns out, and I was really trying to I'd seen a card, and now I forget what her name was to give her credit. She had posted this beautiful card, and I really loved her wave, and I just couldn't get, I don't know if it was the photography of it or what it was, but I couldn't get that same look that I was looking for, or that I kind of thought I was seeing. I don't know. So I decided to try, oh, I wasn't going to show you guys this till later. Hold that thought before we go on to showing you what I came up with, because I didn't love this. There's a couple ways that you can not stamp it in multicolor, and you can still kind of get that same look. So the first one I'm going to show you, let's go with a new piece of paper. So I think this one is cut down to size, so we'll go there. And I'm going to stamp this with Misty Moonlight. Something to keep in mind, our oldest of in colors, which Misty Moonlight is one of them that I use all the time, is about to retire in June. So if you don't have these colors yet and you're thinking about it, be aware that they are gonna go away soon, and I'm curious to see what they're gonna replace Misty Moonlight with, because I really like it and I use it a lot. I use it more than my Night of Navy because it's just that little bit lighter. Sorry, barking dogs. That's okay. Oh, I did it again. I don't know, it doesn't want to stamp this. That's what I was saying. So when it's too close to the edge, you can't get it to really push down. I guess one solution to that is to put the foam pad in here. I don't usually when I'm using a rubber stamp, but if you're really having troubles, you can do that. So here I've stamped my wave just in one color. Might be a little dark, but it's done now. I'm just gonna flip this over since I'm not gonna clean it, just so I don't make a mess of my stamping area. And then I'm gonna take this, close this, mix it up, and then I'm going to take, again, the Balmy Blue and Pacific Point, and maybe I might use this, I'm not sure. And then I'm just going to take my, oh, I always forget to put a piece of scrap paper out. I know I had one. It's missing. Oh. Okay. So just so we don't get the surface all inky, and I want to make sure that I might have been using a different darker blue. I tend to wash these in between projects when it gets super saturated, but not always. Oh, so before I get started, what I did, so I stamped the wave on just a piece of paper, and then I cut it out. So this is the reverse part, and then I just put some, what do I got stuck here? I put some Post-it notes, except for I'm doing the wave right now, so rather than using that, you'll see, but obviously I did something. But I mistakenly cut that piece off, I realized, or I didn't cut it as part of this, which was a bit of a mistake, so I'm going to try and avoid that. But for now, we will just put our mask here. It just lets me be a little bit more not as careful, I guess. So it's not holding this piece, so I have to remember that as I go. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to add my Balmy Blue to my wave. And I'm not even on my paper, so I'm going to make a mess anyways. Not my day for organization. I thought I was all organized and ready to go. Here I am. Oh, I forgot this. I forgot that. Okay. It's just like when we used to do parties in person. Oh my gosh, I was always glad that people like to come to me and we do the workshops here, because there's always like one little thing you forget. You can always make something up, but it's nice when you've got your crafts at your hands and you can run and get whatever you've forgotten. So you could keep going. If you're happy with it, you could do that. I'm gonna try adding a little bit of Pacific Point since it is a bit darker. I'll go with and you can go all over, you can just do parts. I've kind of taken away my balmy blue, but so that's good enough for me for now. And then I'm going to take this piece off, and now I'm going to do the top. So like I said before, I'm going to cover my wave that I've already colored, and then put this aside because I don't want blue anymore. And I'm going to take this bunny, and I have Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just going to do this top part. So a little bit sunset-ish, I guess, instead of the traditional blue. I'll show you one with all blue, with blue wave and blue background, but I love these blending brushes. I don't know about you guys, but they have been, so I ended up coloring this inside part, so I'm just going to go over it a little bit more to try and make it not so blue. And I'm probably shaking this all over the place. I apologize. To get a more stable dusk. So I probably, if this wasn't on camera, I'd probably keep going and getting darker, a little bit darker. I probably could try Pale Papaya to get it a bit darker, or let's see. I don't know if it's the right color. Let's try and see. It's a little too orangey for my taste. We'll go with Flirty Flamingo. Just gonna get that edge, and then we'll take it. Oopsie, I moved the whole thing, so let's bring it back to where we were. There we go. Hold it down. Maybe I need to ink up my Petal Pink. So my Flirty Flamingo's kind of taking over. Okay, let's do a little bit more Petal Pink. Sunset-y glow. Just go a little bit more here. Okay. So this is the fun part. I love it when I have a mask on and you get to take the mask off. That's like the best part, because that's when it's like the ta-da. Oh, and it obviously moved, but that's okay. It's actually going to be mostly hidden with my little bird here. So I'm going to stamp it with Memento, because then I'm just going to color it with some blends. Okay. And then we've got, so So I've got soft suede, the light and the dark to begin with for the wood, for the posts. I'm going to start with the light one. Give it a first coat. And I'm going to do one log at a time because I find if you go in with the dark while it's still wet, it blends easier. And you don't get that line as much. So, and then just go over it again with the light. And you get a nice blending. And then I'm just going to go over the rope because I'm going to end up going over it with black. So I know it'll be able to hide the brown. Not be too detailed about it. And again, come back in with the light. There we go. And then I'm going to take my black. I'm going to take the fine tip of the black and I'm just going to come in and do this little rope. There we go. And for my, what is it, a pelican maybe? I've got the light pale papaya. Put it on his feet. And then since he's white, I'm just going to take Pool Party and kind of do his outline. And then take the white and just kind of blend it in. So he's got that, just a little bit of a shadow on him. So like I said before, you could take, I don't even know if I knew it was in here or not, this cutout here. I'll see how close it cuts it and compare it to my fussy cut one. So you get to see the mini in action here. My mini is so dirty from cutting all my clip cards the other time. Okay, where are my cutting plates? Oh yes, I put them up here. Okay, so you've got your base and then you've got two number 2s, which are your cutting plates. I rotate them as I go to make sure that they stay flat and don't start getting all warped on me. Mine is the best way. And what's going on here? Why am I having, I don't know if I did something. Oh, it's because the one plate is. So I have to say, and maybe there is, I'm going to have to call and find out because I find this one has a hard time catching my plates. And I don't know if it's, there's something up with the rollers. I mean, it cuts just fine and it rolls fine once you get the plates in, but it's not as easy to catch. Maybe it's just me. So you can see there's a bit of a white edge around my pelican, which I don't love. Just because I don't want it, I don't want any white on this, but normally it wouldn't be that big of a deal. I'm going to come in and I'm going to cut a line here, just because it's hard to get a poke with scissors without making a mess. So I've made this line and it just has to be big enough for, now that I have the hole, I can use my snips. Although it still does make a bit more of a mess. I should have just measured it, but that's okay. And then I'm going to slide this guy through so that it looks like it's in the in the water, not just kind of sitting on top of the water. So the final card ends up looking like so. So you can see I cut it, I fussy cut this. I didn't, but it's nice to have it cut with the die, and then you can just kind of trim the white if that's a problem for whatever you're doing. And then I just added our friendship. This is one of the sentiments in the stamp sets. Cute, right? I love this pier. I don't know, it kind of looks like it might wash the bird off, but I thought it was cute with that. The bird I like. Okay, next up is I'm going to show you this foil, and again we're going to use the mini Big Boss, as I'll show you how to cut the wave. So I have I put the adhesive sheet on the back of this just so that it's easier to stick it down. I'm not going to be fighting with glue on, it's not too hard to put down with glue, but I didn't want to be fighting with glue on camera. So I did the adhesive sheet, and now I'm going to take a wave and we're going to line it up. Oops, it helps if you have the cutting side down. Don't want to have the cutting side up because it won't cut anything but your plate, which won't do anything, but it won't do anything. And the whole point is to do something. Okay. Oh, I think I lost it again. Yep. Okay, here we go. And you do have to hold it down a little bit harder than the big one because it is so light. It likes to move around. And I am going to go over it 3 times just because I have that adhesive sheet on the back. And it is a bit of a delicate piece, or intricate piece, I guess, not necessarily delicate. And the foil is a thicker paper. So here we've got our cutout. So you could even use this on something. And then I haven't come up with something yet. Where's my take a picture? But I'm sure you could make something really cool with these cutouts. So if anyone has ideas on what to do with the cutouts from the wave, I would love some ideas. I just need to take the time and try and even glue it back down. I think it would be cool. Okay, it just wants to come out, so I'll just take it out. And then we'll poke it out. Okay, worry about that later. And we'll just take out this final piece. Okay, so we've got our beautiful wave. Now, the easiest, I wanted to have the darker one in the background. So I think the easiest way is to stick it down and then just cut around it. And of course I put multiple adhesive sheets, so now I gotta find the the pieces. Always the fun. Okay, I think just missing this piece here. And then there should be one more. I'm not seeing any comments today. I'm wondering if for some reason it was showing me right at the start and now it's not again. Hopefully you guys aren't commenting and I'm missing it. I apologize if I'm missing questions. Okay, got that all off. I'm just gonna set it down. And you kind of want to just let it do its thing. I want to kind of bend it out of sorts. There we go. And you've got it stuck down. And then you would just fussy cut. I kind of wish they would have done a solid wave, but I guess it's probably not very often you'd. This wave is meant to kind of stick on top of the stamped wave, so I get why there isn't a solid one. But you can see, I'm not going to bore you cutting this all out, but you get the idea. So then this is what I ended up with. So I ended up just putting a piece of it and I cut off the tail end. I added the matching rhinestones. This happy birthday is out of the stamp set. And this little label tag is one of the dies that comes with the set with some pool party sheer ribbon. This is one of the stamps as well, the bird. And this is the clouds I was telling you about. I used the mother of pearl paper here, so I don't know, it's so shiny, I don't know if you can see, but there is the little embossed markings of the clouds that I was telling you about at the beginning. So super cute, but isn't that nice? Like the shine is so pretty. And this one is a easel card, but again with the nice designer series paper. It's kind of nice with the wave and the water going into it. So that was actually one of our club cards that we did last month. I did it as a sneak peek preview to what was coming this month. We only have 3 months of club left, but if you're interested in finding out what it is, maybe doing it for next year, you could always trial a month in one of these 3 next months and see if it's something you would like. If you want monthly inspiration and a pre-designed 3 cards that are all prepped for you and you just have to have fun making them, we do it on Facebook Live. I do the demonstration, but we get together either in a room or we might start doing Zoom. The rooms aren't working as well as they used to. I don't know. Anyways, if you're interested, message me. If you're in Canada, I can only send them in Canada. And yeah. My third card is where I was getting at with, I was fussing with the multicolored wave and I didn't love any of my waves. So I decided to use the wave to make the whitewash and then add the color. And now I've lost my, I'm looking for my wave. Okay, so I'm just gonna wipe this because I want to put Versamark on, not color. Pick up all the color. I might need I wish the chamois were either started out dark or you could get them clean again because it always feels dirty, but it cleans super well even though it doesn't look great. It's the most amazing stamp cleaner ever. Okay, so I'm just gonna stamp this on here to make sure that I got all the ink off, which I did. Might as well just leave this here. Okay, so then I'm going to, oh, I did not pre-cut this down to size, which wasn't very smart of myself. I don't want this because I won't be able to line it up. I think this is where I want to be. Okay, then I'm going to take my Versamark Now, I'm not just using, I kind of cheated. I have white embossing powder, but I've added some, it's old. It's called ice, glitter ice or something. It's meant to go on and it's clear and it's shiny, but I wanted the whitewash, but I wanted the shiny, so like when the sun hits the water. So I added some of that. So if you have some glitter or something, you can always mix it in with your white embossing powder, and the white embossing powder will stick to it. The only problem with doing that is you never know how much white you're going to end up getting versus sparkle. So make sure you put more white than sparkle. You should be okay. Make sure I get this end here that hasn't been very nice to me. Okay, so I've got my Versamark down. I can see that I've got it. I probably can't see it. Stick that, and then I'm gonna, ooh, almost built it. Okay, and I'm gonna take this, pour it over here. Shake it around. I've got bits and pieces of stuff in here, but that's okay. Someone's home. I always know when someone's here. Great guard dogs. Okay. This glitter stuff will come off, so I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if you can see that, but we will heat emboss it here. So now my stamped wave is my whitewash, and instead of having the white in the background, it's kind of at the foreground, and I'm going to add the color after. Now, just a warning, and I think it's not, if I just had white embossing powder, it would have been better, but my glitter is a little bit, once it gets embossed, it's a little bit prickly, so when I use my blending brushes, it did make it a little fuzzy. So if you are using glitter, just be forewarned, your brush might get a little worn more than if you're just doing it on white embossing powder. So if you don't want your brush to get a little worn down, I'll show you what I mean, then don't add the glitter to it. You can always add some Wink of Stella after the fact, so don't worry too much about that part. Oh my goodness, I've made a mess. Okay, we'll clean that up after. And I just noticed my board is scooching up on me. Okay, so then I'm gonna take my scrap paper here. I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that pretty with that? But it is, I don't know if you can hear it. It's a little bit, it's rough. It's a lot more rough than just white embossing powder. So I'm going back, and again, I don't know if you can see, it's just a little more fuzzed up than, I don't know if you can see the difference. It's very, and I haven't tried to wash it, so who knows, it might come back to normal after I wash it. I'm not sure. I can let you know next week once I wash it how it went. So then I'm going to take, again, I'm going to start with the lightest, and I'm going to work my way up the ladder here. So we'll start with our balmy blue. I'm not too worried about it going out on this one, so I'm not going to use the mask. And I'm just going to come in and color it. Now, it's going to look like the white is kind of getting washed out, but once all you have to do is wipe it with a tissue or a baby wipe, and you'll get that color back. The white will shine it will shine again. I promise. Okay, so we've got some Balmy Blue. And then we'll add a little bit of Pacific Point. By going from light to dark, you've got that, you don't have to change brushes and you don't have to worry that you've messed up. Okay, so if you want to see in between kind of what it's going to look, because the blue really gets on the white, you can just take a tissue. And that's not showing as much as I want it to. I'm going to use a baby wipe. There. You can see it really pops when you get that baby wipe out. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so then I'm just going to add a wee bit of Bermuda Bay here. Okay, and I'll take it off. And I like to wipe it as I go because then you can kind of see if you're happy with what you got. I feel like it's still a little light here. So I'm gonna take some more Pacific Point and I'm just gonna gently, lightly add some color. And we'll wipe it off again. See where we're at. And I think I'm happy with that. It's got a nice wash to it. Isn't that pretty? So I find you have so much more control by putting the white as your stamp and then adding the color using your blending brushes after the fact. Because then you can keep going over and over until you're happy with kind of the color wash that you want. You could even do it with watercolors if you really wanted to be able to get the colors that you want. But I mean, I think this is pretty good. So then I'm just going to show you the card that I made because you don't need to see me blend some more. So I just added, I think this is Misty Moonlight and some Balmy Blue as my sky. And then I embossed one of the sentiments. These are the rhinestones. And then behind is the foil. So it makes a super stunning but simple card. And it doesn't take long to do either, but I love this. I wanted to show you too. I tried to do it on watercolor paper. I was playing with watercolors, and the one I was talking about where, I can't remember who made it, she had used the sand from the Oceanfront stamp set as the wash, the froth, and so I tried, but it doesn't help that I kind of washed out and then I spritzed it. I just kept going and going. It's not bad, but really, I think this one is so much prettier. So you can watercolor it. It loses its defined, and that's what I think I like about the wash being the white, the stamped, because it just really pops that whitewash that happens when the water's rolling. Anyway, so those are my cards for the week. Hopefully you liked seeing this new Waves collection. I really love it. If you love it, it is up for grabs now, so you can get your hands on it. You can use the March host code if you're under $200. If you're over $200, don't use the code because you will get your own rewards. So there's that one, and then the cute pelican. So those are, I don't know if it's in the picture enough. Those are the cards for this week. Hopefully you guys like them. I will be back next Wednesday with some new, not necessarily new product, but new ideas, new techniques. So hopefully you enjoyed this week. if you're, like I said, if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment after the fact. I do post this on YouTube, so if you have friends that aren't necessarily on Facebook and you think would like, tell them to go to, or you can send them, share with them the YouTube link. I always post it, usually within a few days, and I also post pictures of the projects. So hopefully you have a great rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.